Hey Falcons fans! Coming up with some analysis just for you, so watch until the end and let me know what you think. Make sure to hit the like button so you don't miss any of the latest updates on our Atlanta Falcons. We're gearing up for the regular season, and there's a lot to unpack. So, let's get to it. According to some analysts, there are some big concerns that our Falcons face as we head into this season. The first of these would be Kirk Cousins' health, the aging quarterback dilemma. Let's start by talking about Kirk Cousins. Now, I know there's a lot of excitement about having a seasoned veteran like Cousins leading our offense, but we have to address the elephant in the room, his health. Cousins is in his mid-30s, and let's be real, injuries become a bigger issue as quarterbacks get older. Remember last season? His injury was a stark reminder that even the most durable quarterbacks can hit a wall. We've been spoiled by the likes of Matt Ryan and Tom Brady, who defied the odds and continued to perform at an elite level well into their late 30s and into their 40s. But let's be real, that's not the norm. Cousins could have 2 productive seasons left, which would be great. But there's also a chance that injuries or simply the ravages of time could catch up with him. So what happens then? We're left with a tough contract situation and potentially scrambling for answers. It's a scenario we hope doesn't happen, but it's definitely something we need to keep in mind as we approach the season. If Cousins stays healthy and starts well, we can breathe a little easier. But if not, that's when things could get dicey. The Penix factor, a growing quarterback controversy? We all know that drafting a young quarterback comes with its own set of challenges, and Penix is no exception. There are already rumors about whether Penix could end up on the roster sooner rather than later. And that ties directly into the Cousins situation. If Cousins gets hurt or starts to show his age, the calls to bring in Penix will only get louder. The contract Atlanta gave Cousins makes it clear that he's the guy for at least the next 2 seasons. But that won't stop fans, or opinion artists, from stirring the pot. After every missed throw or interception, you know there will be conversations about whether it's time to give Penix a chance. The key here is whether there's any truth to those debates. If Cousins falters, and the rumors start coming from within the Falcons organization, then we have a real situation on our hands. The only way to silence those conversations completely? Cousins needs to come out strong and prove he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Anything less, and you can bet the Penix debate will be a storyline all season long. Will Matthew Judon resurrect the pass rush? He's the guy everyone's talking about. The big question is, can Judon fix our pass rush? If he can, our defense could be solid this year. But if he struggles or, worse, gets hurt, we could be in serious trouble. There was a lot of frustration in the offseason when the Falcons failed to draft a young pass rusher, but the trade to New England for Judon has calmed things down for now. But for that calm to continue, Judon has to deliver. In today's NFL, with the rules so heavily favoring the offense, having a disruptive pass rusher is crucial. Judon needs to be the player he was in 2021 and 2022. If he can consistently pressure the quarterback, it will make life a lot easier for our defense. But if he struggles, who else do we have that can step up? Grady Jarrett is elite on the inside, but his impact is limited without support on the edge. So, Falcons fans, keep an eye on Judon. His performance could very well determine whether our defense is just okay or something special. The cornerback conundrum, beyond A.J. Terrell. Terrell is a lock to be our best player, and with improved pass pressure and the addition of Justin Simmons behind him, we could see Terrell have his best season yet. But after Terrell, things get murky. Mike Hughes, who had a rough season last year, is slated to be the number 2 corner. Even with the improvements he's shown in camp, it's hard to feel confident about him being our second best option. The depth chart is full of what-ifs: Kevin King, Phillips, Alford, guys who have potential but aren't proven. Sure, having Simmons and Jesse Bates in the secondary will cover a lot of the holes, but it still feels like we're taking a risk after Terrell. This is an area that could surprise us or become a glaring weakness, especially since we faced some tough receiver groups early in the season. Did the Falcons make a mistake in not bringing in a more talented cornerback to start opposite Terrell? We'll find out soon enough. Last but not least, let's talk about the offense. The belief that the Falcons can be a contender this season is entirely dependent on whether our offensive talent lives up to the hype. We have Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, and Drake London for guys who should be the cornerstones of this team. But let's be honest, those guys haven't fully delivered yet. Pitts, Robinson, and Mooney, in particular, have been disappointing in terms of production. London has been more consistent, but he hasn't put up the elite numbers we'd hoped for. For this offense to be as dangerous as it should be, all four players need to have breakout seasons. The Falcons have spent 3 consecutive first-round picks on this trio, and this season we'll find out if it paid off. If they can't produce this year, it's time to start asking some tough questions about whether Atlanta made the right moves in building this offense. So there you have it, Falcons fans. It's going to be a wild ride, and we'll be here with you every step of the way. What do you think? Are you concerned about Cousins' health? Do you think Penix should get a chance? Now let's get to a hot topic that's been making waves. Raheem Morris' bold decision to bench all of his starters, including Cousins and Penix, during the preseason. Remember last year when fans were outraged that Arthur Smith decided to keep Desmond Ridder off the field during the preseason? Well, history is repeating itself. This time, it's Raheem Morris in charge, and he's doubling down. Morris has announced that no starters will take the field in the preseason under his watch. Not even a few reps, Falcons fans. I know what you're thinking. Kirk Cousins, we get it. He's a veteran, and there's no need to risk an injury before the season even starts. But what about Penix? After all, this preseason might be the only chance he'll get to see some live action for a while, unless Cousins goes down. Morris is making it clear that he doesn't value preseason experience like some other coaches do. He believes protecting his players and keeping them fresh for the regular season is the top priority. It's a cautious approach, and while understandable, it's hard not to wonder if it's the right decision. Especially if the Falcons start the season looking a little rusty, or if Penix is thrown into the fire and struggles due to a lack of experience. So, Falcons fans, what do you think of Morris' strategy? Is he playing it too safe by keeping everyone in bubble wrap, or is this the smart move to avoid unnecessary injuries? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. The preseason power rankings are out, and our Falcons are ranked 19th according to ESPN. Now, I know what you're thinking, but why 19th? With all the hype and solid moves we made in the offseason, that's pretty low, right? Let's break it down. The Falcons had a busy offseason with a major upgrade at quarterback, some serious investment on both sides of the ball, and a new coaching staff. On paper, this team looks like a real contender, especially in the NFC South. But despite all of that, ESPN only ranked us one spot higher in their post-draft rankings. As Falcons fans, it's easy to feel like we're not getting the respect we deserve. We've seen this team improve in so many areas, and with the NFC South wide open, it feels like we should be higher. But let's be real, we've been here before. Last year, there was a lot of hype surrounding the team, and we didn't live up to it. It's no surprise that analysts are being cautious this time around. We have to prove we can deliver on the field, not just on paper. This ranking is a reflection of the skepticism around the league, and honestly, who can blame them? The Falcons have struggled to live up to expectations since 2018, and it will take more than a strong offseason to change the narrative. So, what do you think, Falcons fans? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for the latest news. Go Falcons!